Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies and show you how they were made. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at The Bride of Frankenstein, released in 1935. The original Frankenstein was a monster success, so Universal wanted a sequel right away. Eventually, OG director James Whale agreed to return, as did much of the first movie's cast and crew. That included Boris Karloff as the monster, of course, although now he gets top billing instead of being a question mark. And he's credited as a mononym. How Madonna of him.
I'm sure they treated him a little more like a star.
Taking over the mystery credit is his bride, who unfortunately isn't seen until literally the last 5 minutes of the movie. It's kind of a bummer. She's such an iconic character, and you'll be waiting for her the whole time, only for the movie to end right after she shows up. But knowing that ahead of time will let you enjoy the rest of the movie on its own merits, of which there are many. In fact, a lot of people think it's better than the original Frankenstein. It's more of a comedy than you might expect, but at the same time, it has a lot of real emotional moments. It picks up right after the events of the first movie and follows the monster as he hides from the townsfolk who tried to kill him. Meanwhile, Henry Frankenstein tries to leave the mad science behind, only to be pulled back in by his old mentor, who is just the most evil sorcerer I've ever seen. The Bride of Frankenstein was a success, both critically and at the box office, and was even nominated for an Oscar for Best Sound Recording. They recorded the hell out of Frank's monkey noises. And despite her short screen time, the Bride is just as recognizable as any other Universal monster. She's been canonized in countless adaptations, parodies, theme park appearances, and reimaginings, including Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride, which hits theaters next week. How much black and white... Wait, where's the...
Hello?
Yeah, hey, Ben, yeah, I'm filming The Bride on screen stuff, and I don't see a sponsor script.
Shit. Sorry. I've been trying to come up with something fun, but I've been plagued by disease.
Oh man, you too? Literally everyone I know has gotten sick right now. Well, have you tried going to a doctor with the help of today's sponsor, ZocDoc? ZocDoc is a free app and website that helps you find and book high-quality in-network doctors so you can find someone you love. They offer over 150,000 providers across the US with 200 plus specialties like primary care, dentistry, dermatology, allergists, and more.
James, I know what ZocDoc is, but I can barely move from this floor. Tim had to bring me water.
Well, that's not a problem, dude. ZocDoc lets you choose from in-person or video visits. You can do that on your floor. Plus, you can view thousands of verified patient reviews to pick a doctor suited to you. Then, once you've found one, just book instantly from their real-time availability, with many appointments available in just 24 to 72 hours.
That's great, buddy. I'll do that as soon as the room stops spinning.
Well, try to feel better, man. I guess we don't have a sponsor section today. Sorry, Zoc. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/deadmeat to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/deadmeat. Zocadokadaka! This message brought to you by ZocDoc. How much black and white blood will be spilled when the monster meets his match? Let's find out and get to the kills. The movie begins in a castle on a dark and stormy night. There's a fancy lad party going on, with all the fanciest lads and ladies around. It's actually Lord Byron, Percy Shelley, and Mary Shelley, real-life authors and poets of the early 19th century. This framing device was based on the real-life origins of the Frankenstein novel. During a rainy stay in Geneva, Lord Byron challenged everyone present to write a scary story. Mary Shelley wrote what would become Frankenstein, and movie Byron still can't believe that shit.
Look at her, Shelley. Can you believe that bland and lovely brow conceived of Frankenstein?
Damn, dude, quit being a backhanded little bitch. This prologue was created by John L. Balderston, who had written The Mummy as well as the Dracula play that movie was based on. The Frankenstein sequel went through a lot of drafts and ideas as Universal tried to convince director James Whale to return. He was reluctant to keep doing horror because he wanted to become more of an A-list director. He finally agreed to do it in exchange for more creative control. While he liked and kept the prologue idea, he changed so much of the rest of the script that Balderston asked to have his name removed. Having finished the story of Frankenstein, Movie Mary says there's more to the tale. Before we get into it though, Byron gives us a narrated recap of the first film.
And then the murder. The little child drowned. Henry Frankenstein himself thrown from the top of the burning mill by the very monster he had created.
Then Mary launches into her sequel story, which she never actually wrote in real life, but that's okay, she's still cool. It picks up right after the first movie ended, with no retcons. Mary don't want Lord Byron breaking out the sledgehammer. As the burning mill collapses, the mob of villagers looks on with their torches and pitchforks. Wait, is that guy using his as a hat rack? Yeah, that's effective. They're all going nuts for this burning wreckage, especially Henry Frankenstein's house servant, Minnie.
That's the best bar I ever saw in all my life.
Minnie's wilding out, dude.
I'm glad to see the monster roasted to death before my very eyes. It's too good for him.
But for real, she's savage.
That's his insides, caught at last. Insides is always the last to be consumed.
She's played by Una O'Connor, who did the same shtick as the innkeeper in Invisible Man, which was also directed by Whale. O'Connor also plays a servant in the opening, which illustrates how the story Mary's telling is being informed by the people around her. The bad guy from Jumanji says to stop milling around the mill. Who is this Mr. Mustache?
Thinks he's everybody just because he's the burger master.
Oh shit, it's the Burger Master! And he's not loving it. Wait a minute, didn't the Burger Master used to look more jowly? This is the same character from the first movie, but with a new actor, E.E. Clive, who had worked with Whale in Invisible Man. The crowd leaves except for the parents of Maria, the little girl the monster drowned in the first film. Papa Hans wants to make sure the beast is really dead, but dude, be careful. You're all your wife has anymore. I mean, if something happens to you, she just might scream. See, I told ya. Beneath the windmill wreckage, Hans encounters the creature, confirming he survived the fire. In my kill count for the original, I included Frank, even though I knew he survived and would appear in this sequel. It was obviously wrong for me to do that. It was poor reasoning.
As far as I'm concerned, Frankenstein's monster definitely dies at the end of this movie if you take it as an individual thing, which is what I'm gonna do right now since I don't have time to cover all the sequels.
But in truth, I really did just want to make the little Frank icon for the numbers. The monster drowns Hans and honestly does so with enjoyment. It's like, damn dude, you already killed his daughter. Really gonna delight in murdering him too? Then the motherfucker climbs back to the surface where he finds the other grieving parent and throws her down into the water wheel. Oh my god, her body flopped down on it so hard. Jesus, Frank, you just exterminated a whole family, man, wife, and child. And yet he doesn't murder the woman who laughed fiendishly at him burning in a fire, just lets her run away screaming like a turkey. She runs back to inform everyone at Castle Frankenstein.
It's alive! The monster! It's alive!
Even 100 years ago, sequels were doing callbacks and references. Nobody listens to her though, because they think Minnie's mad. And to be fair, I mean, she was acting a fool at the fire. Elsewhere in the castle, Henry Frankenstein's body is brought to his wife Elizabeth. You know, everyone keeps saying he's dead, but I didn't put him on the kill count. Did I get another thing wrong? Oh no, see, he's alive. He's alive. Oh shit, now I'm doing it too. Elizabeth nurses Henry back to health. He decides that after everything that happened in the first movie, it's time to hang up his mad science lab coat.
I've been cursed for delving into the mysteries of life. Perhaps death is sacred, and I've profaned it.
Elizabeth's like, yeah, cut that blasphemous shit out. But it's a tall ask for him. You know Hank's got a hankering for forbidden knowledge.
It may be that I'm intended to know the secret of life.
A man shows up at the castle demanding to speak to Frankenstein. This dude is one fancy mask short of being a Death Eater. He definitely knows the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Who the fuck is he?
Dr. Pretorius.
Oh wow, he's got an entrance theme and shit? Pretorius is a former doctor of philosophy who was kicked out of his university. For what?
For knowing too much.
For knowing too much? In the philosophy department? The department that's all about knowing. Okay. Pretor Dog kicks Elizabeth out so they can talk necromancer to necromancer. He wants to collab with Hank and delve deeper into the secrets of life and death. Henry says no thanks, Einstein. His bodybuilding days are over. So Pretor Pumpkin Eater decides to show him his own creations. He brings out a chest, like a wooden one, not a human chest. Gotta specify with these guys. Inside is his collection of, tiny people in jars. Hope he poked some holes in the lids. They deserve to have the dignity of a firefly. Also, who sewed all their tiny little outfits? They're so ornate. His homunculi here include a king, a queen, a ballerina, and a mermaid played by two-time gold medal winning Olympic swimmer Josephine McKim. Pretorius says he made them all without robbing a single grave.
Grew them as nature does, from seed.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm sure there's some magical human seed that grows... Oh, wait, ew. Is this the origin of the jar? I'll be honest, I don't really like this part of the movie, because it's got stupid little sound effects. It's long as fuck, too. He's got a whole starter set of these little bottle monsters. This shot of him tweezing a dude back across the table is actually really impressive, though. It looks great. For the people in jars, they filmed the actors in large-scale practical jars, then matted them into these small jars during editing. Pretorius ain't pleased with his peeps, though. He's a bit of a size queen, and he wants Hank's help building another creature who's human-sized, a human-sized woman.
Alone you have created a man. Now together we will create his mate.
Then she and the monster can get busy and procreate, making little monster babies in the closet. Dr. Pretorius was going to be played by Claude Rains before he was reassigned by Universal to star in The Mystery of Edwin Drood. Ugh, rough trade for him. Taking over the role was Ernest Thesiger, an old friend of Wales who had starred in his film The Old Dark House. Dude eats this role up.
Dr. Pretorius is firstly an archetypal old queen. I mean, I think we should fess up about that right from the beginning.
Thesiger is so old-fashioned looking. Motherfucker's wiki has not one, but 2 illustrated portraits instead of any photographs. While Pretorius prattles on about his Adam and Evil aspirations, the creature wanders through the forest, eating, rabbits, maybe, and drinking dirty swamp water. Great. Little Bo Peep walks up tending her sheep, and she and the monster get into a noise-off. She's got the volume, but his monkey noises still send her stunt falling into a pond. Frank pulls a reverse him and saves her from drowning, but that doesn't stop her from screaming more and bringing the hunters round. They get straight to shooting and scaring the creature away.
It's the monster. Tell the Burgermaster.
Why? Do you think he's hungry? Yo, Monster Man, come back! We've got fries, too! Burger Boy cancels his safari and orders the men to arm up and the women to stay home and hide. They listen, too. No one wants to get grilled by the Burger Master. His hunting party mobs up and chases the monster through the woods, but he fights back and crushes 2 dudes with a boulder? Hell yeah! Made him flatter than the top of his head. The not flattened hunters overwhelm Frank and tie him up with rope until he's looking like Frankenstein superstar. Dude, it's pretty wild that Karloff is actually tied to this pole as these guys tip him over into the back of a wagon. Then they heave his ass to and fro, through hallways and down a whole bunch of stairs. They transfer him to a jail and throw him in a dungeon before finally heading back home.
You know, it's really a lot lighter without him attached.
Even after all that, though, I guess they're too busy to check the chains properly.
We can't take a whole day over this.
Okay, well, good. Then he breaks out immediately. Like they haven't even left the building yet. I love this scene of monster rampage. He's tearing off doors, he's knocking down cops, he's chasing men, women, and children through the streets, and he's getting another kill, too. Her body's barely on screen, but it's a little girl named Frida who's found by her friends? Holy shit, Frank, why you always killing little girls, dude? He comes across a Romani family in the woods, and they're definitely in danger. I mean, they've got a little girl. That's like a creature beacon. Sure enough, he comes sniffing around for another kid to kill, or some chicken to eat, but that doesn't work out for him, because, you know, fire bad. This stuff with the family was added to fill a gap left by several deleted scenes. The movie was cut down from 92 to 75 minutes. Some of the cut scenes included a court hearing, a sequence in a morgue, and a subplot where Pretorius's henchman Carl murders his uncle and blames it on the monster. Carl. The creature hears music coming from a hut and peeks inside to find a blind man playing a violin. The hermit welcomes him without issue.
Come in, my poor friend. No one will hurt you here.
Unable to see, he understands Frank not being able to speak. They're like the guys in that Saw 4 trap. If Art Blank screamed out, "Fire bad!" The scene with the blind man is a memorable one and was parodied in Young Frankenstein. A lot of people think it's in the first movie, and that was even before Guillermo del Toro lifted it for his version of Frankenstein. The lonely hermit says they can be besties together, them and JC. He tucks him in real nice and tight and even prays for his moany new friend, thanking God for sending him some company. The monster sheds a tear at being shown real kindness for the first time in his life, and they bro out together as Ave Maria plays. Damn, what a scene. During their time together, the hermit teaches the monster table etiquette and how to talk. Oh, this is where those clips on the tram tour come from.
Good.
No, Frankenstein, smoking on the tram tour is actually bad. Whoa, he's really chiefing on that thing too. Dude, do you think Frank could outsmoke Leppy Boy? Nah, that little shit was taking bong rips as big as he was. While the two of them hotbox the hut with that spliff, the hermit lights a fire. Oh shit, say the line, Frank! Say it!
Fire. No good.
Close enough. Wait, is that what he says? The creature doesn't actually say fire bad in any of his classic appearances, and Karloff didn't want him to say anything at all. Even though the monster speaks in the novel in complete sentences and thoughts, Karloff thought any speech would make the monster too sympathetic. I disagree. I think it humanizes him the right amount. Karloff also didn't like the score by Franz Waxman, thinking it was too busy and present. And while I agree for some parts, like the homunculi scene, I love the bride's theme and all the music with the blind man. Frank and the hermit hit up the tunes again until some hunters show up and ruin the vibe.
He's blind.
He isn't human.
Well, what the fuck, man? Blind people are human. Oh, he meant the creature. They blow up the monster's spot and tell the hermit his new friend is a fiend. The creature defaults to his usual move of throwing guys around and accidentally sets the hut on fire. Oh man, it is heartbreaking to see his good time here get cut so short. He stumbles out calling for his friend, but he doesn't find him. Instead, he finds oh, jackpot! A whole group of little girls! No, wait, don't scatter! It's always harder to get you when you scatter! But Frank should just let him go. I mean, he already killed one of them. Marilyn Harris Harris, who played Maria in the OG, is amongst the children here. The creature goes on a tree-felling rampage in the cemetery. Yeah, great place to knock shit over, Frank. Very respectful. Him toppling that statue of a bishop was actually a compromise. Originally, he interacted with that crucifix back there, thinking the Jesus on it was another person who had been tied up just like he was. James Whale had to fight the Hayes office a lot in this movie, and that's why 15 minutes ended up getting cut. They had to make sure not to have accidental necrophilia or intentional blasphemy. One of Pretorius's lines was changed from fairy tales to Bible stories. They also had to cut any close-ups of Elsa Lanchester's décolletage in the opening. I guess her cleavage was just too hot. Frank condemns himself to a grave, since, I mean, it's what everyone else wants for him anyway. Actually, it's a crypt, and when he gets down there, he sees Pretorius and his henchmen inspecting the skeleton of a young woman.
I hope her bones are firm.
And I hope yours isn't. Even Pretty Boy's criminal cronies are crypt out.
If there's much more like this, what you say, pal? We give ourselves up and let 'em hang us.
These two are Ludwig and Carl. Pretty forgettable toadies in the grand scheme of things. Carl is played by Dwight Fry, who did pretty much the same shtick as Fritz in Frankenstein, and kind of as Renfield in Dracula. Pretorius hangs back for a drink and a bite, and a good laugh. I guess those are funny bones. The creature reveals himself and joins Pretorius for a smoke. It gets him ruminative.
I love dead. Hate living.
You're wise in your generation.
Yes, Pretorius understands the angst of adolescence. How do you do, fellow new creations? He tells Frank he'll make him a lady companion, which gets the monster so excited he learns a new vocab word.
Why?
Pretorius returns to Castle Frankenstein to find Henry and Elizabeth preparing to leave town. He ain't about to let Hank do that though. He still wants his help doing weird science. When Henry says no, Pretorius uses his monster muscle, getting the creature to intimidate Hank and then straight up steal his wife. Elizabeth was recast for this movie. Original actress Mae Clark had suffered health issues, including a car accident that broke her jaw. She was replaced by a 17-year-old Valerie Hobson, who was also starring in Werewolf of London at the same time. They built a little corridor for her to easily get from one set to the other during production. Henry Frankenstein is played by a returning Colin Clive, who is once again fantastic, but who sadly died 2 years after this movie from complications due to alcoholism. With his wife held ransom, Henry Frankenstein joins Pretorius back at the Mad Science Lab. If they're gonna make a monster mate though, they'll need a brand new heart.
What we need is a female victim of sudden death. Can you do it?
Yeah, dude, I'm sure this guy is gonna ethically source that, bet.
There are always accidental deaths occurring.
Yeah, and you just sent the accident out. Sure enough, Carl procures the fresh heart by randomly killing a young girl on the street. Damn, that's dark. The brand new heart gets up and running in the quest to build a bride. The monster keeps trying to micromanage his dad, so Pretorius calms him down with a spiked drink that knocks him out. To keep Henry calm, he lets him talk to Elizabeth via a phone-like electrical device, even though this movie takes place in the 1840s? Or does it? It's kind of ambiguous. Whale included details like this phone to create an alternate but somewhat up-to-date world for the film to live in. Doesn't make a ton of sense, since it is being told by Mary Shelley to people who died in the 1820s, but I guess she could be imagining some kind of fictional future, as any good sci-fi writer would. With his wife confirmed alive, Henry's ready to put the spark of life in his new creation. As a storm starts brewing, he sends up some kites for the Ben Franklin special, the Ben Franklinstein! Just like in the first film, the machinery and lab equipment was crafted by Kenneth Strickfaden, and it's awesome. It's like the quintessential mad scientist setup. We get a damn good montage of everything in there as they wait for the monster energy to hit. Eventually it does, crackling and buzzing, sparking and smoking. The monster doesn't like it when he wakes up from his whiskey nap. During his fit of rage, he attacks Carl and throws him off the roof, killing Dwight Fry as a weird little guy a second time. But you can't deny results!
She's alive! Alive!
All right, y'all, we get it. That's the famous line. But it's true. Here comes the bride. Finally! Been waiting the whole damn movie for her. She looks great, wrapped up in that bed sheet, although it's possible she has a stanky hand. The bride is played by British actress Elsa Lanchester, who also plays Mary Shelley in the prologue. The dual casting was meant to show that Mary too had a monster within. Her iconic look was inspired by a sculpture of Egyptian Queen Nefertiti, and didn't use a wig. That's Lanchester's hair combed over a wire cage, with the gray streaks put in afterward. Makeup artist Jack Pierce did the design, adding yet another classic monster look to his resume. He did the monster's makeup again too, using different techniques to speed up the process. The look was also altered, with his hair singed and skin burnt from the windmill fire. Those marks were gradually reduced throughout the movie to show the monster healing from his injuries. The monster is excited to see the bride, but she's not feeling the necromance.
I would have no part of him. I let out a noise when I saw Boris Karloff. I let out a noise like a swan. If any of you have ever seen an angry swan in the park, I don't know.
He tries to win her over with his famous blurry hand massages, but she's not a fan of his technique. With his tailor-made bride treating him like a common villager, Frank gets sad.
She hates me.
Then get mad, sad, bad. He goes to pull a lever and bring the whole damn tower down. Elizabeth gets there at the last minute, and the monster tells Henry to go with her and live. As for him, Pretorius, and the bride,
We belong dead.
you may now hiss the bride. The monster sheds a final tear and brings the tower tumbling down, killing him, Pretorius, and the bride. Oh wait, no, there is another movie after this where he returns, so just Pretorius and the bride. Not making that mistake twice. The tower's destruction was designed by special effects photographer John P. Fulton, who worked with Whale on all of his Universal pictures. He and others, like Charlie Baker with his miniatures, made the effect shots for the castle, the burning windmill, and this final act of destruction. The tower was built with individual stones and blown apart with pyrotechnics, then captured with high-speed photography and some lightning to give it extra oomph. It's a fitting end for such a significant set piece. As for the movie, it ends with Henry embracing Elizabeth, the only bride of Frankenstein left standing. How many people died before we got to these nightmare nuptials? Let's find out and get to the numbers. Or perhaps I should have my homunculcounters do it. As you can see, I've been growing them for quite some time from human seed. It's fine. It was sourced ethically, I promise. You see, we have the classic flannel variation. Solid, reliable, good for a corny bit or two.
Well, it looks like this to the numbers is a little short on ideas.
We also have the Bixby variation. He is the excitable one, always screaming about that Bixby town we've never seen.
Bixby! The hat's all wrong.
And here you can see a new variant. I think he's just kind of a cool guy. A real lady killer, if you know what I mean.
I was acquitted.
Unfortunately, they are still too small and dumb to do the numbers.
Hey!
I suppose I'll have to do this one myself.
Hey, can either of you guys breathe in here?
No.
Cool.
We counted 9 kills in The Bride of Frankenstein, with the victims consisting of 5 men and 4 women or girls, including the bride. That gives us this nearly even bridal pie chart. Pie good! We've seen this count and breakdown in 6 other episodes before, but only 4 other movies, since 2 of those were recounts. With a runtime of 75 minutes, Bride had a kill on average every 8.33 minutes. That's 8 1/3. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Maria's mom. The tower destruction at the end is cool, but I can't get over how hilarious it is that Frank chucks a grieving mom and technically widow into a fucking water wheel. What the fuck, Frank? Double machete for lamest kill will go to Frida. The first movie already killed a little girl. This one does it again, but without showing it? That's a big platform shoe step down. And that's it. The Bride of Frankenstein was released in 1935 and was followed by Son of Frankenstein in 1939, which was the last time Boris Karloff would don the makeup for a movie. Until next time, I'm James A. Janice. This has been The Kill Count.
On the next Kill Count.
We've seen fresh takes on the Invisible Man, the Wolfman, and a Nosferatu. Now, another remastered monster has risen from the dead.
I cannot die.
Horror legend Guillermo del Toro brings us The Shape of Monster.
A leaf? For me? Thank you.
I mean Frankenstein.
Victor Frankenstein.
Yeah, but also Frankenstein's monster. He's important too. Like previous Frankenstein movies, this follows a mad scientist obsessed with defeating death.
Not slow it down, but stop it entirely.
In doing so, he creates a monster. Or maybe he was the monster all along.
Why would you be afraid of me?
Oh wait, in this version, he's absolutely the monster.
You are the monster.
See, they'll tell you, straight to your face. No room for nuance or complexity here, but at least the costumes look good, and Jacob Elordi is incredible as the creature.
We can be monsters together.
This week, be told what to think about these characters in Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
I know what you are. A good man.
Then on Friday, unearth the secrets of life and death for the kill count, only on Dead Meat.
Frankenstein. It can currently be watched on the pictured streaming platform. Dead Meat always recommends you watch the movie for yourself before its kill count. It's the only way to have your own properly informed opinion. Kill counts are never meant to replace the experience of watching a film.
Thanks a lot for watching this kill count for Bride of Frankenstein. Really wish you could see this better. It's one of those Tesla balls, but it's not really doing too much against the very bright background back there. I had a different one in Frankenstein, but that was so long ago, I don't even know where that thing went. All right, all we got left is the creature from the Black Lagoon, and that'll be it for the original classic Universal monsters. I guess this is a sequel, but Bride kind of fits in there. I doubt I'll get to the other sequels in the Universal monster lineup. There's just so many of them. But hopefully people check this episode out because Bride of Frankenstein fucking rules, dude. I want to thank some patrons like Maddie Nove, Rat Mahal, Takeo Bell 75, Cry God, Vitor Albuquerque, Casey Hughes, and Addison the Great YouTuber. Thanks everyone. Be good people.